The thousands of miles of hiking and biking trails in our region would not be possible without volunteers. In this Campfire Chat, we talk with Pathfinder for Greenways volunteer Brian Battieger, who has personally contributed over 5,000 hours of service to building and maintaining trails.
Today, we're going to talk about trails, sort of. So, Brian Battieger, you're with Pathfinders for Greenways, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And, well, you're a volunteer with Pathfinders for Greenways.
Yeah.
First off, what's Pathfinders for Greenways?
So it's a group that started in 1997 when the Greenway Commission started, and it's the volunteer side that raises money for the Greenways and for trails in the area. And so we have a whole, we keep track of volunteers, volunteer hours, but we also raise money for the Greenways.
So you have been working on trails in this region since 1990?
Officially in the databases since 2003. That's when I started recording my hours, but I did some work before that too. So
you guys have a database.
Years.
So everybody that volunteers on the trails throughout the region, right?
For
Pathfinders, right? So if they come in and they volunteer with you guys keep track of that?
Yes.
How many hours are in that database?
About over 75,000 since 2003
wow.
to today.
Okay.
We use that to get grants and stuff too. That really helps when we got our skid steers, we applied for grants with DCR, and you can use those hours.
Well, you raise a point, right? So it's like, everybody's like, we have like 1,000 miles of trails within an hour radius. I always say that. 1,000 miles of trail within an hour radius of Roanoke, right?
Yes.
And for the most part, all of those trails are built and maintained by volunteers.
Mostly.
Right?
Yes.
And I think that's something that's really important for people to know, is that we have this amazing trail network, but there's not trail ferries out there. There's not an organization that's paid to take care of these trails. The region relies on people like you that dedicate their time to put out there and maintain the trails. So you guys are maintaining the trails.
Yes, and building some new ones.
What are some things that you have to do to a trail to kind of keep it?
You got to get the water to not sit on the trail, because when water sits on the trail, it just gets deeper and deeper because it gets soft and pushes out and blocks the drainage, and it just gets worse. So we got to make sure the trails drain well. And sometimes that means re-establishing the drainage. Sometimes we have to fill some material back in that was lost. Get rid of what we call deberming the trail, making sure the water goes off to the downhill side of the trail. So that kind of work happens.
So what do you need? Like, how can people get involved to help you?
We really want people to have all kinds of options to get involved. You can come out for whatever time you want if you can get yourself to the work site. You can come out 1, or 2 days a year, whatever you want to do. Obviously, we like people to come out more often because they have the skill, they keep with the skill set, but we do offer that. But besides trail work, there's lots of ways that people can help to help improve their trails. They can do donations. Maybe they could bring food out to the trail workers. That really help. If they want to do something like that.
Bring some water and snacks and lunch out.
Yes, there might be people that have some kind of equipment or materials they could donate. So there's lots of different ways that people could help. They just need to kind of sign up and say they're interested in trying to do something, and we can maybe help figure out what it is. Maybe they could do a beer pouring or something for one of our fundraisers, and that's volunteering, but maybe they don't want to do the trail work type of volunteering. But we need money for tools and other supplies.
I think that's it. There's lots of different ways. We're sitting here talking about Pathfinders, but there's Blue Ridge Off-Road Cyclists, there's Roanoke City Parks and Rec, there's the state parks have trail volunteers.
Oh yeah, and a lot of people are out there clearing, and even if you just want to go out and clear, the city's all right with handsaw clearing the trails. That helps.
So we get enough volunteers to come here and basically maintain the trails. That frees you up to do what, Brian?
To build new trails.
Build new trails, right?
Extend rock and roll to the boat dock.
All right, let's talk about, I'm going to assume rock and roll is that's your pet project. That's your baby. All right, tell us where it is and tell us about Rock and Roll Trail.
So it's at Carvin's Cove. It's the one end is over by Arrowhead, where it hits the road on the far side away from Bennett Springs. And that's where we have one side, and the other side right now is going to Schoolhouse Trail on that far end. Now there's a junction up where the toolboxes are, and from that junction we're heading out to the boat dock. It's about another 5 miles. So it's a big project. And we're going to build some auxiliary trails on the way. The city would like to have some, just like we have the one going down to Schoolhouse, they'd like to have a few more going down to the road.
Off of it and come back onto
it?
Okay.
So we have loops going out, so we're going to be working on that. We got approval for that now.
I know.
Once we're done with Arrowhead, we're
high five on that
over.
trail. That trail is one of my favorite trails. So for someone that's never, say, I'm signing up, I'm going to come out my first day with you, working on a trail, say, Carvin's Cove.
That's a good question.
What am I going to be doing? What can I expect to be doing?
So you can expect it not to be treated like it's a job.
Okay.
If I ever do that, you need to put me in my place, because it's not what we want to do, and I don't think we did that.
Yeah.
But you're out there as a volunteer. You're out there. You go at your own pace. You don't have to have any experience.
Okay.
We're happy to train you. Just all you have to do is listen, and let us know what you want, because we'll tailor the job. Like some people say they can't lift. We lift a lot of rocks. Well, we don't put people that have bad backs lifting rocks. They let us know. So we have lots of different things, naturalizing, moving stuff around, making it look good after we disturb the land.
So it could be like moving dirt with shovels, so working with shovels and pickaxes.
Yep. Picking organic out of dirt, some people like that. Especially if you want to get down on your hands and knees, kind of pick that stuff out. Shaping dirt, packing.
Kids. Can kids come?
Yes, if they don't mind like going out and looking for rock, that's like a really great job for kids.
Okay.
Like we use tons of rock, I guess.
So it can be a family outing?
Can be. So we also are real flexible in like the time they want to work. So especially once you get used to what we do with the gate, because we go in through a lock gate a lot of times at the cove. So we have ways to do that. We need to show people how to come so they can come on their own time. You can drive your own vehicle in if you're careful with that. So we have people that know what to do on that, and until you do, usually we have people that come in the morning, maybe work 4 hours and leave, so usually there's a ride. But if you can get in on your own, it makes it even easier.
All right, so someone's going to go to greenways.org and they're going to sign up to volunteer.
Yeah, there's a volunteer tab. And
so fill it out, and then you're gonna send out notifications. I'll get an email that basically tells me, here's a volunteer day coming up, and if I want to participate, I'll let you know.
Yes.
And you're going to tell me when, where to go. You're going to hold my hand.
Yeah.
And make me have a good time so that I want to come back.
Try to. If you don't want to smash rock, I scare too many people about smash rock. If you don't want to smash rock, you don't want to smash rock.
Yeah.
We're not going to try not to do much smashing rock. I don't think too many people like that. Some people love it though.
Well, man, thank you so much. For those of you guys that are still with us, please volunteer. Take a day out of your summer. You're going to have a good time. You're going to enjoy it. Give back to the trails that we all love and enjoy. Again, this is Brian Battieger with Pathfinders for Greenways. I'm Pete Eshelman with Roanoke Outside. And remember, wherever your adventure takes you, Roanoke Outside is there.